Hey, it's Ben Wise. I'm at TLC Fitness tonight, and we're talking about the BikeErg setup. So, if we can optimize our setup on the bike, then we will maximize the amount of power that we can generate while we're on the bike itself. So, really only three things that you can adjust on the BikeErg practically. Like, you can do seat slides, some other stuff if you really want to get out like a hex tool or a screwdriver at your class. But for most people, practically, there's three things that we can adjust. So that's seat height, it's the handle height, and then it's handle slide. Those are the three elements. The thing that we need to prioritize the most is our legs, since that's what's generating all the power, which is the seat. So put your seat to wherever you think you're going to typically have it at, or wherever you've been riding it at. Whether it's correct or not, we'll find out, or optimal or not, we'll find out. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take that to the bottom of the stroke where it's furthest away from you. So not completely at the bottom, more like 5 o'clock on the stroke. And then you're gonna actually put your heel on the pedal. The goal here is for your knee to be completely locked out. However, you are not then reaching with your hip. So these are my two, like if this is my pelvis, I don't wanna be reaching with that hip and offsetting. I want to be able to stay squared off, yet have this locked out knee. So this is my typical setup, looks about right. So then when I actually go to put my mid forefoot on where I would typically ride, as I'm coming through the bottom of the stroke, I should be able to keep a nice soft bend in my knee with my ankle itself being right around 90 degrees or maybe just past that. And then I actually should maintain that angle as I go around. And that way, again, I'll probably end up somewhere very close to 90 degrees at the top, maybe not quite all the way there. The other thing is, if you're someone who, like your quads are blowing up and you're maybe at a correct damper setting, so that's not the issue, then it's a good likelihood that your seat's maybe just a hair low. If you raise that up and your quads feel a little bit better, it's probably a little bit better setting for you. And likewise, you'll be able to tell if it's too high just because you'll feel like you're reaching for the pedals a little bit, or you're having to really dorsiflex at the bottom of the movement. So that's that, and then we can move to the handle height. For someone who is optimizing for, this is just like a training modality, so you can actually go and ride your road bike or your gravel bike or whatever you enjoy doing, and that's like your thing. Then obviously take the measurements off your real bike and try to mimic this as closely as possible. For a lot of people, like aerodynamics is a big portion of what's actually slowing you down on the road. So you're gonna have this probably in line with your seat, maybe even a hair touch, or a little bit lower. For everyone else who's just doing this for general fitness, where you want to get just a good workout on this, or you're having it, maybe it's an element of your sport, then you're trying to just optimize for power output on the erg itself. And then, if that transfers to the road, or, if you want to do other hobbies, that's great. So for those people, it really doesn't matter as much, is my point, right? Like you could have it maybe just slightly above, like this is where I like to have mine. And that allows for me to just be a little bit more upright and be able to breathe a little bit better. And I don't really have to worry about aerodynamics because I'm not actually going anywhere. So you can play around with that. Again, that's more of a personal preference thing. And then the last thing is this handle slide, or how close it is to you. And again, if you're someone who has a bike, like match it to your bike. Like you might be somewhere like this. However, if you're someone who's just riding for power output, then bring that thing all the way in so that you are in a pretty comfortable, a little bit more upright position, and it's easier for you to breathe, yet your torso is still inclined over it where you can produce a lot of power. And that's gonna be the sweet spot. So for most people of an average height, if you're not like a super tall person, bring that slide all the way in towards you, and that's actually probably a pretty good place to be. So those are the main points in terms of optimizing your position for power on the BikeErg. As always, let me know if you have any questions.